T1 for the team, boy. Do you even know what that mean, boy? When them lions step on the scene, see them queens that stay king, see 144 screen. T1 for the team, boy. Do you even know what that mean, boy?
We don't die, we multiply.
It's King James poppin', I rock with apostles' doctrine. Apocrypha on top got me topping over my opposites. Enemies can't stop me, they topple over the obstacles. Couldn't see with binoculars, most of these bad words obstinate. Y'all discard them, they obsolete, they insubordinate. They wanna walk the path but don't wanna follow the coordinates. The Abba gave us statutes, laws, commands, and ordinance. He even gave his son, we matched the love with impertinence. Falling into the curse again, like our forefathers. Ain't nothing new under the sun till the son was sent by the Father. A higher, a short, a higher. He set up my soul on fire. He breathe who walk in my lungs. Yahweh keeps me inspired. I'm Judah till I expire. T1 for the team, boy. Do you even know what that mean, boy? When them lions step on the scene, see them queens that stay king, see 144 screen. T1 for the team, boy. Do you even know what that mean, boy?
We don't die, we multiply.
It's Fringe Gang, Blue Ribbon Army, yeah, that's my kinfo. We poppin' these epistles, we follow scriptures like tenfold. See a bundle of sticks hanging out of the window, the walls and fell in the water. To the Lakers, they endo, louder than a crescendo. Yeah, that's an innuendo. Metaphorically speaking, they tweaking off of the endo. Thinking this life a game, they geeking off of Nintendo. My Judah, we not the same. Let's separate from the simple. The wise inherit the kingdom. Praise his name till the king come. Get a prophet's reward with the sword, sevenfold and then some. We caught up in this war. My Judah, I know we've been one. Prophecies of the chosen, redemption of the stolen. My Ak, that's real Judah. T1 for the team, boy. Do you even know what that mean, boy? When them lions step on the scene, see them queens that stay king, see 144 screen. T1 for the team, boy. Do you even know what that mean, boy?
We don't die, we multiply. We don't die, we multiply.
Not Edom, not Esau, not Edom, not Esau, not Edom, not Esau. Yasharayim, Yasharayim, not Edom, not Esau, not Edom, not Esau, not Edom, not
Yeah, peace, peace, peace. Salute to them, T1 and them. Salute to Mighty Hebrew. Salute to Neo X for making music for the Lions Den, man. Y'all doing a good job. I love the music. And I love y'all got the children out there, you know what I'm saying, following the way of y'all. This is the Mad Scientist, aka Gabashal Yahawah. You can follow me at, Facebook, TikTok, and Facebook, TikTok, and Bing, Eric the Mad Scientist True Knowledge. Instagram Too Hot 30, and my YouTube Life Death Conflict TV. We gonna let Karima introduce herself, say hi to y'all, and then we're gonna get to the get down to the jump because we got something special coming on tonight for the Lions Den. Y'all watch out for that too. JJ, King JJ, Jeremiah Judah, and Elder Yasha, they're gonna have a great discussion, man. Gonna show how two elders can sit down and talk about things, man, and teach and build. So introduce yourself, Kareem.
Sorry, I was trying to share my screen. But shalom to the panel, me and him, of course. Shalom to those that's watching. Hope you enjoy what we're about to bring up. But yeah, I'm about to share the flyer what's to come, so stay tuned. We have a great discussion coming up after this.
Yeah, this was for my open up for the back. This is just opening up for the big event coming up. You know what I'm saying? The big event. Hope y'all really learn and listen. You know what I'm saying? Got two good people that know how to teach and that know about what they're talking about. And they getting together, and having a great discussion on it. But you say you gonna show the flyer right now, or
Yep, about to. Hold on.
okay? Yeah, the flyer about to come up. They about to show the flyer about the discussion tonight. The last day discussion, our angels, masturbating or breastfeeding. It's going to start tonight. I say probably like between 7 and 8. You know, so it says 6 on there, but I think they moved it back to like 7, close to 8, 7, 8ish. You know, so y'all stay tuned to that. It's gonna happen tonight. So just in case y'all don't see it at 6, you know, just a heads up. But this video that we about to go to is me and my cousin Shamir Trueheart. We having a discussion about just abortion. We just giving two views from both sides on how we think about it and what how we feel about it. And I'm just like showing people that I love talking about the issues that's going on with our people today too. You know what I'm saying? It's great. It's great to talk about all history, ancient history, the history a little bit before us, and the present. What's going on? We So my term is to talk about different subjects, and these things right here really matter to me because this is a thing that's really hurting our people. These things like this, fatherless homes, abortion, molestation, rape, self-hate. Like these are things we also got to really talk about too to get it down. But enjoy this video and presentation coming right after this. Okay, well, yeah, this is Eric Trueheart. Waiting for a guest to come on. It'll be a good conversation about abortion. I just wanted a woman to be here too, so people won't just say, "Oh, I'm biased," and I'm just speaking from one side. So once she come in, we gonna get on to this discussion. The first, let me see who is this watching. Michael on here. It's not on your page. Let me see if I can invite you. Alright, I'm about to invite you now. I just invited you. Hopefully you get it. We're just waiting for the guests to come on. But yeah, this discussion gonna be is abortion. Can you justify abortion? Can women have abortion without? There you go. All right, I'm adding you now. Hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I ain't echoing or nothing, is it?
A little bit, but it's all right.
Hold on. All right. What about now?
No, you're not echoing.
Okay. All right.
You know I'm
They sit on mute. All right.
All right,
Yeah.
now if you hear
We all
kids
getting.
yelling in the back, you know I got four.
Yeah, yeah. All right. We will get to the discussion. The first part of the discussion is it can you just is it anything that justify having an abortion? I just want you to go first on it.
I feel like, okay, well, for starters, I feel like a woman should have the right, okay? But I also feel like it should be regulated to the point where if it's rape, if it's a medical condition to where it's a threat to her life or even to the baby's life, um, I feel like that there are a few reasons why, but personally for myself, I just don't believe in abortion, but I do believe that women should have the right to choose. I don't think it's fair to take away somebody's rights just because you don't believe in what they believe in.
Okay. I'm gonna say some on that. Now, people think, all right, because I'm against abortion. People thinking that I'm with the government abortion.
Okay,
Now, them two different things because yes, I believe the government is not going to do anything to help our people. So when they
that's
do
true.
anything, it's not for to help our people, right?
Mhm.
So medical, I kind of understand it if it's a life and death thing. Now rape is kind of I'm 50-50 on it because I have talked to women like I talked to rape victims, I talked to stuff like that who actually had their children,
Right,
and they told me the struggles of knowing that that child is the son or the daughter of the rapist
right,
and how it was hard for them to really love them, but they still raised them, and them children has their own family. Them children are in college. So I asked her, well, how would you have felt if you would have got an abortion? She said,
right.
well, I would have felt bad, because when I birthed them, I understood that it's not the same person. So I can't, I just don't accept that, oh, because this person did this to you, that you should kill this person. This person has nothing to do with that person did. So that's why I only say I'm really against rape.
Okay,
When we keep saying a woman has a choice, right? This is the line that's kind of hurting me, because a woman can tell me I can get an abortion without the man saying yes or no. But if a man said he don't want a child, the woman can say I want to keep it and then make you pay for it. So if I have to take care of the child, I should have the right to say no or yes. Because for one, I'm the one that put the seed in you. Yes, you carry it. So both of us has to be together to make this child. So how can all of a sudden the one person make the decision what to do with this child? But
and
if
it
I don't
belongs to
want to keep
both.
it,
Right.
yeah, but if I don't want to keep it, you can't stop me from keeping it. But if I do want to keep it and you don't want it, I still can have it and make you take care of it. See what I'm saying?
I
That's
do.
one side of the thing. So
Well, for me,
I just think if you have a baby by a person like a man and a woman, I think the man and the woman should have a discussion.
yeah,
They should talk about it. And it's still going to be a hard because it will still have to be which decision to make. But I think a
right.
decision will come out of it. These women, I mean, like I said, I don't went through 5 abortions without me never knowing, and the woman told me afterwards. See what I'm saying? So, and I know a couple people hit me up telling me, man, it happened to me too. So you got to realize
Yeah, it
it's a
does
lot of
happen.
that going on too. To where, and then I'm like, well, you having sex. Anybody that knows that you have sex, you should know you're going to have a child. So I feel sorry for
Oh yeah,
nobody that has sex on their
right.
own right and has a child. So that to me, that's not even an excuse period to have an abortion. Well, you can go,
I'll
Jamali.
agree with you on that because I mean, at the end of the day, you have to also understand that it's not just your baby. You're having this with somebody else. But I
Yeah.
think my biggest problem that I was having was speaking from a female standpoint. A lot of men don't like to step up to the plate. You know, they, they
Yeah.
don't want to pay for the abortion, but they don't want you to have the baby, or even they have tried to manipulate, just like women, they try to manipulate you into having a child for them, and then they disappear. So I mean, I
Yeah.
can understand that aspect where there's a lot of women who's like, they don't want to be that single mother. They want to finish college. They want to da da da. And there are so many women that have had children and have gone on to finish college, got their masters and everything, which is great. But everybody is different too. So I mean, unless it's something like an extreme case, I don't feel like abortion should be required. Although, if you are going to have an abortion, you need to talk to whoever you had that baby with, because I mean, yeah, you might not want the baby at that time or whatever the case might be, but at the end of the day, I mean, you and him decided to lay down together and have this baby. I mean, regardless if
Yeah.
you wasn't thinking at the time you was gonna have a baby, but I mean, everybody, we're grown. You know the consequences. You know, so I mean, you can't you can't shirk your responsibilities. But on that same note, if we're going to have it so that women have to have it so that they cannot have an abortion, then something needs to happen to those men who don't step up.
Well, I mean, something is happening to them. They get on put on child support and then they go to jail. So it's like it's
Okay,
something
what
does
about the
happen to
ones who
them.
don't get put on child support? Because my
That is the
ex-husband isn't on child support because I don't believe in child support, but I also believe that he needs to take care of his children. I'm not gonna
but
force you
see
to take
then
care
but
of them.
see but see then I'm just gonna say this because you to me then y'all will be contradicting yourself because you saying a man should get punished for what he doing, but then said, well, I'm not gonna put him on child support because I don't believe in it. Either you believe he should be punished or he should not be punished.
I
If you
don't feel
believe he
like
should be
child support
punished,
is
he
a
should be.
punishment, though.
Oh, believe me, child support is a punishment. It's a punishment. I don't
Hey,
see you put them in on child support and they is punished.
I want you to understand something though, because as a female, yeah, we got a lot of government assistance, I guess you could say. We got food stamps and um, Medicaid and so on and so forth to help out with having a child, right? And I
Uh-huh.
get that. But at the end of the day, if nothing else covers that, then we have to foot the bill by ourselves. So
Yeah,
if
I
if
understand.
if we did, put a guy on child support and it's $200 a month, you can't pay $200 a month, and I'm footing $3,000 a month. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's an inconvenience to you, but you the one who decided to lay down with me and had this baby together.
Yeah, now I understand that because like I said, me and my baby mama, we got a verbal child support to where I pay every month. It
Right,
ain't through the system or nothing like that.
right.
But what I'm saying is these men that having kids and they are not taking care of them, you have a will, and you have a way to punish them. You can put them on child support and make them pay. If they don't pay, it's going to add up, and they're going to go to jail. What's going to happen is that kid could be 18 years old, and all that money you still owe, you're going to still be paying and
Yeah,
paying and paying. Now, I don't
that
believe
child
I don't
support.
like child support either. I believe some of these deadbeat men, yes, they had to, but at the same time as this, like I said, it's the same way with men too. Because yes, men have. I don't see men have sex with a woman and talk about, man, she's pregnant. He's all mad, so I want her to get rid. I'm like, how's you mad knowing that you had sex and that she's pregnant? That's what I don't understand with people. How you
You.
having sex, then
Mhm,
not understanding that you pregnant? Sex
mhm.
is of reproducing. That is the problem. We are using sex for lust. We're
Right.
not using sex to reproduce. And
I
that's the
agree.
problem with people that have it. Anytime you have sex with anybody, you need to know you can have a baby with them. I don't care what you know
Right.
what I'm saying. You just need, and then you have an unprotected sex of that. So you
Yeah.
have an unprotected sex and then still surprised that a baby has come up. That's the problem that I have with men and women that they say a lot on.
Well, I'm gonna say this. My middle two children were born, and I was on birth control. And I mean, I don't. Like I said, I don't believe in abortion, so it wasn't an option for me. But it came at a
Yeah.
time where it wasn't convenient. My youngest son was born while I was homeless. So it wasn't a convenient time. But at the same time, I put that responsibility on myself. I have no other option. But some of these girls, you also have to realize a lot of these girls are either underage, and they get their parents to say, oh, if you have a baby, I'm gonna kick you out, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that, and they're scared. They don't know what to do. They don't have the right mental capacity at that time because they're only 15, 16 or whatever, to be like, okay, well, if I have this baby, there's resources I could do. I could put the baby up for adoption, so on and so forth. But, I mean, I think education, especially, it should come along with sex education. When they teach sex education in schools, that should be one of the topics that they cover. It really should be. The consequences of having sex, not just how to do it and how to do it
Somebody
safe.
has a question. Somebody has a question for you. He said, "Ask her, is abortion a punishment?"
Is abortion a punishment for the baby? For the baby, it's a huge punishment. I mean, what's bigger punishment than death? I personally believe that if the baby has a heartbeat and the baby has a brain and it has electrodes and everything going back and forth, it's a human, regardless if it's this small or this big. And a lot of people are like, oh, it doesn't look like a human, so it's not a human. Okay, so if a deformed person, a grown adult, had like a deformed face, does that make them not human just because they have a deformed face? I feel like, I'm against abortion for myself, for me, but I do feel like that if that is another female's decision, that's her decision. I can't do nothing but be like, look, I mean, I don't go for that or whatever. It's just like with other religions. I don't go for that or whatever, but if that's what floats your boat, that's what floats your boat. But you also need to understand the consequences behind it.
Yeah. Now that's the problem I have with a lot of people sometimes, because not you, because you don't really support it. You just more like, I'm just neutral. I ain't doing it. If you do it, you do it. I understand that. But most people support. Now, when you support something, I feel like you can't support something unless you'll do it yourself. You can't support homosexuality unless you're willing to do homosexuality yourself. I can't be a straight man
I don't know about
and not want to
that.
have sex with another. No. What I'm saying is, I can't be a straight man and don't believe in homo that having sex with a man is right, but then I support them. I can say, like you said, I could be like, well, I ain't got nothing to do with it. You do what you want to do. But if you
Yeah,
ask me, I'm gonna always say no. I don't support
yeah,
homosexuality because I won't do it. So that's what I'm trying to say. So that's anything with abortion. I don't accept
mm,
abortion, so I can't be pro-abortion. But at the same time, I can understand certain situations, meaning like medical. If they tell you you might die if you had the baby, then that's the real choice you have to make.
right.
Raping, like I said, I'm 50-50 on it because the situations I've seen, and I've seen the children of rape victims, or I heard about them and they told me about them and how good they're doing. So what
Hmm.
if you would have killed that? You're killing a child that has nothing to do with that. But at the same time, I can understand the pain, the stuff that comes with it. So I don't bash on them for doing it. See, when people think we're just bashing on all abortion people, we're bashing on
Right.
these people that having sex and killing the kids. And
And using
this
it
is like the
as
80,
a
eighty-five
birth
percent of the
control.
main reason.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's more of the main reason than anything else. And that's why we get mad when people use rape and stuff like that. We understand, yes, this is going on, but how much a percentage is really women doing that from? And
That's
that's
true
the
too.
problem that we're having. Yeah, now it's the same thing as, like I said, when people talk about police killings.
Mm.
Why you want me to get so mad about 7, 8, 9% of the killing that happened to us? But when I talk about 90% of us dying from other black people is a problem. You see what I'm saying? It's like people want to pick the little smallest problem and then make it the biggest one when it's
Yeah.
not the biggest one. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, I don't heard girls 18. I don't heard teenage girls having 5 abortions. When I know you only can have 3 and still have 5. So this thing about that's one woman.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Places in New York, Hispanics and blacks is 80% of the abortion. They said I forgot what year it was, but one year they had more abortions than birth. You see what I'm
How the
saying?
hell does that
So
even happen? Wow.
Hispanics and blacks in New York, they had more abortions than birth. I think it was like 2,000 more abortions than birth. Now you see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm trying to say is
That's crazy.
it is something. If we had up to 16 million abortions since 1975, bro, just imagine how much other black people we supposed to have. This imagine we're going down like this, and the European is going up. They keep saying the European is going to die. The European is 200 million people over here. It's only 40 million people here. And it's supposed to be, if you go from the killings to the abortion to the heart disease, man, it's probably supposed to be 150 black people here. You see what I'm saying? We don't lost
Yeah, I
all
can
these
see
millions
that.
of people from stuff like that. So when we're talking about abortion, we're not just talking about if women have right. To us, it's not. To me, it's not about women rights. It's about uh, our people, and we can't just be. We can't. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, certain things.
Right.
Even if we accept the rape and we accept the medical thing, that's only probably like 10%, 15% of why people doing it.
But
You see what I'm
why
saying?
can't
So
they
we
just
really
regulate it?
That's what see that now. That's what I was saying. That's why I say I separate myself from what the government is doing. I don't want people to think that I'm supporting the government on
Yeah.
abortion. You see what I'm saying? I'm
Yeah,
coming
this
off
is
of
my
my
belief.
essence
It's
of
not what the government thinking.
yeah,
It's just what my
yeah. No, this
thoughts and
ain't got
my
nothing
thought
to do.
process on it. I get it.
Anybody that been on my Facebook listening to me know I've been talking about abortion since 2012. So
Yeah.
I've been talking
Yeah,
about.
you
You
have.
know what I'm saying? I didn't even know about they made this law. So when start hearing people talk about it, I'm like, yeah, I agree with it. I agree that abortion is not accepted. But then, some women open my eyes when they start with like possibly when you showed me 11-year-old girl was raped. And I said, well, I can't understand it. I can't say that if she got an abortion, she would be a killer, even
Right.
though it's still wrong. But at the same time, that's 11-year-old. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That don't supposed to happen. And that's what I think the problem is. We are taking shit that we're doing, the sins that we're doing to each other, and then trying to say this is why we should have abortion. If these things didn't happen, then there shouldn't be no abortion. You see what I'm saying? So we're the
Yeah.
ones as humans fucking each other up doing this. We're molesting each other, raping each other. We're doing this. So that shouldn't make abortion right. It doesn't make abortion right, but at certain things you have to accept it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
I totally agree with you. I mean, at the end of the day, you have to understand something too. They're banning all abortions. So I feel like if they would have just been like, look, we're gonna have to regulate it in some sort of way,
Yeah.
as far as like if you get a rape kit, or something, and it came back positive that you were raped, then you should be able to have that option. Or if um what's another one? If it's a medical problem and you have proof of that, because especially if you want government assistance for anything, you need to show papers. If you're trying to get food stamps and stuff for yourself for you being pregnant or whatever, you have to show proof that you're
Yeah.
pregnant. So why you can't show proof that, oh, okay, well, the doctor says I have this kind of condition or whatever, so I feel like it's my only option type of thing. So I mean, I feel like instead of just banning the whole thing, they could have just did a regulation behind it, and like you said with that 11-year-old girl, she's stuck. There's no option for her whatsoever. And the sad part is suicide rates are going to go up even more so than what they have been. Orphanages are going to be overflowing, even though they're already overflowing, so they're going to have to build more. People, and the thing about it is, you also have to realize that taking stuff from people, they still find a way to do it. They just do it unsafely. So it's like girls
Yeah.
back in the day used to take like the wire clothes hangers and, you know, do what they do
Yeah.
to try to do it because they don't want their parents to find out. They don't want to have the baby at the time because of financial reasons and so on and so forth. It's just going to make it unsafe. I feel like it's going to bring up a whole lot of other conditions. But I also feel like they just needed to regulate it instead of just like cutting it off, period.
But see, I agree with a lot of stuff you said, but my thing is, like I was saying, we as people has caused this condition to where we have to even think about abortion. Because like you said, the situations we do. If I
Yeah.
don't if I don't have money and I'm trying to work and I'm trying to go to college and I want to finish my goals, I shouldn't be having sex, and I shouldn't be having unprotected sex.
That's
You see
true
what I'm
too.
saying? If I think this man is not gonna take care of this child, then why the hell am I having sex with him?
That's
You see
true
what I'm
too.
saying? So these are situations that we got to understand that we can't put ourselves in this situation and then feel like, okay, I can just get myself out by getting rid of it. Like I said, rape, medical, that's just a whole nother discussion, because I think that's on the individual thing that happens. So
Yeah.
like I said, I wouldn't be mad if a girl got raped and said I got an abortion. I wouldn't get mad at her. I wouldn't be like, okay, you're a killer. I just tell her I don't agree with it, and why I
Yeah.
wouldn't. But I would never bash her. My people, the people I go against, like I said, is the people who saying, this is my child. I don't care what the man says. The baby is
Yeah.
inside me. I should be able to have abortion anytime I want to. I ain't gotta ask the man. So that's not right, because how you know? What if that man has a feeling, is happy? What if that man say, yes, I got a baby on the way. I'm happy. I'm gonna take care of this child. And then
Hmm.
2 days later, the girl calls you and say, I just had an abortion. You see what I'm saying? Like, damn, you didn't even
Yeah.
talk to me. You didn't. I don't have to tell you. This is my
Uh,
child. The child is in me. But if you have it, you're gonna expect me to take care of it.
Yeah, that's
That's
what I
that's
was about
just
to
not right.
say. That's
You see what I'm
exactly what I was
saying?
about to say. Yeah, because honestly, I mean that's a double standard for me. Yes, it is. You know, like say for instance myself, if I was pregnant, yes, it is my body, but at the same time, you have to understand that that baby that's inside of you, even though you're growing it, you're pretty much just an
Yeah.
oven. And the baby is like a piece of bread that's like growing and rising with the yeast. So, but you had to add ingredients. So in order to add those ingredients to make a child, it's just the same thing. You can't just be like, oh, this is my child, and then the baby's born and it's like, oh, you're not taking care of your child, you're a deadbeat dad, you this, that, and the third, but for what? Like it's too much of that going around. But I mean, of course, I'm gonna say this. I feel like that's a whole nother video as far as addressing um, the promiscuity in black communities. I feel like that's a whole nother discussion. But at the same time, I mean, it starts at home. It's where you started in life and what you see growing up. And yeah, everybody makes mistakes. Okay, I get that. Everybody makes mistakes. But at the same time, if you out here trying to trick with everybody or don't care who you let up inside of you, and then you accidentally get pregnant because you didn't know. I mean, I feel like you SOL. Worst case scenario is you're going to have to get that baby up for adoption. But I personally don't feel like abortion should be an option, because if you going to take on the responsibility of having sex, and this is another subject, but my oldest daughter is 13, and I told her, I said, whenever the time come and you decide, that that's what you want to do, if it happens before you turn 18, we need to discuss it first. You need to discuss that with me first, because I need to talk to you about the consequences between having sex. There's consequences, there's responsibility, there's an emotional attachment. There's so much more that's going into it than just having sex. But also because of the media, it's just, oh, sex, sex, sex. And the saddest part is sex sells, so it's like kids see that, even in their little TV shows and stuff, there's adult themes in a lot of these TV shows. So they see it, they're like, oh, okay. Oh, I see a girl in a bikini just walking down the street like it's okay. She's objectifying herself, but I think it's okay because nobody says nothing to her. No, it's not okay. It's not okay. But at the end of the day, you have to live with your decisions, and if that's your decision, you can't run
Yeah.
from it. You can't come
Yeah.
out.
I understand that. I understand that. Like I said, I understand the situations that women might have to go through, why they think that they have to do it, and this and that. And I just think, um, well, we gonna get on this topic, and this is about basically what is the good thing about abortion, if there is any that you can say, and what is the bad thing about abortion.
The good thing about abortion, I'll say the good thing about abortion is hopefully, I won't even say that. I won't even say that. But I was gonna say hopefully it would teach her a lesson. Be more careful. Choose who you're gonna have sex with, and wait until marriage, so on and so forth. But if it comes down to it, then I personally know a female that's gotten several abortions. And I mean, I don't agree with it, but it was because her and the dude decided to have a baby together and then he like backed out type of thing. And she was just like, I don't want to raise the baby alone. But I mean, at the end of the day, you made that decision. Regardless, you knew that there was a possibility that he wasn't going to be around. You knew it. And you ain't got
Yeah,
no
see
ring on
that,
your finger.
yeah,
So ain't
I
no
agree with you.
responsibility for him to stay.
Okay. Now, well, I'm gonna say the good part about I'm gonna say, well, I don't even think it's no good part, but hello.
Yeah. You're
Yeah, that was it. Something happened to my phone at the time, but I hope y'all enjoy the discussion. Yeah, thanks for saying yes. Yes, you real. You know, what I mean, that's my cousin. You know, I yeah, I was saying, like I said, I talk to the people in my hoods, man. I go to my family. I go to the people that's around and try to talk to them as much as I can about everything, man. You know, in my hood, around my circle, they tell me I'm one of the smartest men they know. You know what I'm saying? Because I take that with pride because they know where I come from. They know how I was living. They seen me. They seen me homeless. They seen when I was selling drugs. They seen when I was toting guns. They seen when I was going back and forth to jail. They seen all this, and they see what I'm doing to this day. And I'm trying to wake up people, trying to talk to people, and trying to be a help to people. I ain't even, it ain't always about teaching either. Go talk to them people that that been molested, have been raped, because that stuff doesn't just go away. You know what I'm saying? So we'll go up to this next presentation. I'm taking some words, breaking it down, and I'm trying to get people to understand that, in history, that how one thing mattered one thing, and then it get passed down and it means something else. And so they have to translation. They took some words that didn't mean that when you look up into the Hebrew. So hopefully y'all understand what I'm saying about this video. We can start it. Yeah, Shalom Mario, Shalom Marcus, Selassie, and Shalom Michael. Peace to y'all. And Shalom Yermayu, Nermahu. Yeah, thank y'all for watching. This presentation about to come up. What is the breath of life, the firmament, and a demon. I hope y'all enjoy. This from my research. You know, I'm not saying I know everything, or I'm not saying this is 100% the answer. This is just from my research, putting up to build on and getting the understanding why I claim what I claim, and get us closer back to the Most High, and get a better understanding of what the Bible and how people looked at it in that time. Yeah, peace on Marcus Selassie. I see you. I see you, Maria. What's up, man? Shalom, Abyss. Mad scientist, aka Gabashaya Howard. You can check out my Facebook, Mad Scientist, on True Knowledge. That's on Bing and it's on TikTok. You can try. You can check out my True Hot 30 on Instagram, and you can check out Life Death Conflict TV on YouTube. All right, let's get to this. This is a discussion. I'm going to be three things I'm going to speak on. The spirit is oxygen. The firmament was mistranslated, and demons are myth gods and idols. Now, let's get to the first one. The first one is spirit is oxygen. So why do I say this?
Okay, I'm gonna say this real quick because he took the time to do this with his phone. And for those that be in debates and they trying to get the information out, so all you have to do, like if you have a PowerPoint and you don't have a computer and you want to share your information, all you have to do is download a screen recorder. Most phones have screen recorders, so what you do is you go to where your email, where you have your PowerPoint at, and you just pretty much pull it up and then you talk over it, so it'll pretty much save time, and then you don't have to worry about sharing your screen if you don't have a computer or a laptop. So this is a good way to share your PowerPoint if you don't have, them equipment, and then other people don't have the time to just sit there and pull your PowerPoint up for you. So you just download a screen recorder and you just get the work. So yeah.
Thank you for that. Now, this is what I do. I go to the definition, then I go of the Hebrew and see what it says first. What do spirit mean? Spirits means rayak, okay? What does rayak mean? Breath, wind, spirit. So spirit means breath. What is breath? Breath is oxygen, okay? So we have to understand that these things go together. All right, let's go to the next one. Where does oxygen come from? Most people just say trees. No. Oxygen actually comes from the water that mixes with the trees that produces it. Let's see what it says. Matter of fact, this one part is, we're going to the scripture first to understand why water and then why trees and then how these things created the breath of life for the human. Let's go to this. Water and trees produce the spirit of Yah, modern word oxygen. In the beginning, God created the earth and heaven, and the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the spirit, oxygen, of God move upon the face of the waters. Now, we know the waters don't produce, like, I guess some say it produce straight oxygen, some say it don't. Some say it produces a thing that mixes up and the trees catch it and then breaks it down into oxygen to give it to humans, okay? But I just going literally straight to the point. Okay, that's what I'm doing. I'm going straight to the point. So, oxygen. Genesis 2:9. The Lord God made all kinds of trees grow out the ground, trees that were pleasing to the eye, good for the food. In the middle of the garden were the tree of life. Oxygen symbolism, placenta, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Now, see, they said it like it was two trees. And even if it's one tree, why is they separating this tree from all the rest of them? Why in the Bible is not telling you that that he survived off of these trees? Because it's a whole other thing that happens for you to get oxygen, okay? And then this tree of life is symbolism for something else. Let's see what the symbolism is. Okay. Let's go to the science, okay? What science say of how humans get oxygen. If you really study the Bible, you will see the Masonic and pagan translations and see the truth. To see the truth. So, like I said, it has Masonic translations, it has pagan influence, and it has the truth that is hidden in symbolism and other things too. Because they did not go straight, they did not teach straightforward like that we do today. Okay, there's a difference. All right, let me show it. The breath of life is oxygen, breath, neshima. The word literally means to inhalation and exhalation of air in our bodies. Genesis 2:7. Then the Lord God formed a man from the dust and of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. And the man became a living being. All on Earth's oxygen does not come from the trees. Rather, the atmospheric oxygen that we depend on as a humans comes predominantly from the ocean. In the photosynthesis, plants capture sunlight and uses energy to split carbon dioxide and water, making sugar for itself and releasing oxygen as a byproduct. Woo! And this is the picture right here. Just I don't know if y'all can see it. I'm gonna zoom it in for a little bit real quick. Boom. Now that part what I'm showing is, see how it's going around? See how it's done? Look at that. Look at that. That's beautiful, okay? All right, let's go to the next one. Now, what is the tree of life? What is the symbolism of it? Yeah, I was just saying that part when I was showing this, y'all see that when I was talking about the spirit of the water, meaning the oxygen, and how that was created from the waters, connected with the trees, and how the breath of life is not oxygen. The breath of life is the acting of inhaling and exhaling. That is the breath of life, the inhaling and exhaling. If you don't have that, you will automatically die. That's what make the whole human. And the most important part of the thing is the breath that comes in and out your body. Okay. What is the symbolism of it? What is the first thing that we depend on for life? What is the first time that we actually start breathing? It is not when we come out the womb. It is while we're in the womb when we depend on our mama. We actually don't, our lungs are actually flattened and we depend on the placenta in our mama. Okay, tree of life, human placenta. Okay, you see that? The placenta is called tree of life because while the baby is in the mother womb, it lives off the placenta because the human lungs are flat until it comes through the woman womb and becomes inflated with oxygen, spirit, in which you become a living being on earth, breathing on your own. So that's what a living being is. That's why these scientists try to tell you, they try to tell you that these babies are really not considered living until they come out the womb or a certain amount of time where they have to depend on it. Which we know that's a lie. Once you become pregnant, that baby is a living being. But that, you know what I'm saying? But that's how they look at stuff. And that's how a lot of ancient times look at these things. Like I told you before, ancient people were way smarter than we was. The placenta, look it up, the placenta. A lot of people don't know this, okay? Let me zoom that in for you too. That's why I have the video that we are the earth. We come from the earth. So that's what I said. The Adam and Eve story is symbolism, myth, and history. Meaning some of the stuff is telling the truth. Some of the stuff is scientifically telling the truth that we come from the earth. Because literally science is trying to teach that now. They just trying to catch up, but they think they're advancing us. Okay, let's go. Oxygen and the brain. The brain needs a constant supply of oxygen and nutrients to function. Cerebral asphyxia affects the largest parts of the brain, called the cerebral hemispheres. However, the term are often used to refer to a lack of oxygen supply to the entire brain. Midline plus government. Oxygen helps send nerve signals and messages throughout the body. When the brain doesn't get enough oxygen, brain cells begin to die. Cell death happens within a 5 minute of low oxygen. Now check this out. Like I said before, Adam and Eve, right and left brain together makes the whole brain. Spinal cord, which attaches to the brain, which brings the messages down with the energy. Oxygen, the breath of life, giving it to Adam and to the brain. Woo! Boy, that boy fire, all right? That boy fire. And this is not coming from that. This is me learning myself, listening to this myself. This is what people got to understand. Once I start hearing something, I can put it together myself. I don't have to have nobody keep telling me how things go. All right. So that was that. So I'm gonna go to this now. Now let's go to heaven. Because I hear a lot of people argue about what heaven is and what the firmament is. Now, when I put heaven, I'm really talking about the firmament. So that's why I put the firmament. But let's see what heaven is. Sky, heaven. That's all heaven is in the Hebrew. Sky, heaven, okay? Now, let's see how heaven is actually the firmament. Heaven also the firmament, and God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament, and it was so. And God called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day. The second day, okay? And God called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day. Do you understand that? The firmament is heaven, which is the sky. Okay? Now let's go to this. Are we living underwater? Researchers believe the universe might be a liquid. Now I've brought this up because people are saying how they split the waters into the sky and they hit to the ground. Now I'm going through different facets of researching. So I'm going through different avenues of what they're saying it is. It's different avenues of how they figuring out what this thing says. The idea of space-time being a fluid known as superfluid vacuum theory isn't entirely new. It was suggested as long as half a century ago. But researchers Stefano Libretti, a professor at the International School of Advanced Studies, and Luca Macino, a research scientist at the Ludwig Maximilian University in Monaco, are the first to tackle the question of the viscosity of such a liquid. Okay? So they're saying that it's a form of liquid called superfluid in space. And let's see what they're talking about this. All right. So that's why it made me speak on this. Splitting of the waters. How space and water are similar. Consider in the same way how we perceive water to use it appears to be a flowing liquid, but in actuality, it is a mass of H2O molecules. Space-time, the researchers say, is made up of own H2O molecules, although what these would be is unknown. A key point of evidence for that theory revolves around the four fundamental forces of the universe: electromagnetism, weak interaction, strong interaction, gravity. And let's check this out. Only problems they have understanding is gravity. So this is how they looking at this. Okay, they're looking at the universe as liquid, a form of liquid that's kind of different from the water. Okay, they say they got the components out the four, but they don't understand gravity yet. Okay, gravity as far as in space. Quantum mechanics is able to explain all of these except for gravity. The researchers say that plausible model for quantum gravity would be the superfluidity of the cosmos. With modern astrophysics technology, the time has come to bring quantum gravity from a merely perspective viewpoint to a more phenomenal one. One cannot imagine a more exciting time to be working on gravity. So when people talk about that gravity stuff, they still trying to understand this thing. That's what I'm saying. When it comes to science, it's not talking as is a fact because science is always changing. Did Israel use firmament mythology to explain the unknown? Now, this is one of the things that I have a problem with because, on the one hand, if you take, I'm gonna show you, but it's a question into it, and I'm gonna get you to see what the other side. Let's go to this first. The idea of the sky above us as a circular structure is shared by almost all pre-modern human cultures. It is best understood as a product of the pre-scientific mind, attempting to make the sense of what, see, and offering an intuitive though factually incorrect account. So you know what they're saying? It's saying at a time of ancient time that these how they looked at it. These people was still learning like we is today. So it was a point in time, yes, they thought it was a solid thing in the sky, and when it rained and stuff like that, it opened up. And certain things happened. They believed that's the sun and all that stuff was under the firmament, which was a solid thing that kept the water on Earth and the water up there separate. And let's go to the ancient people who believed this. Belief in a solid firmament in ancient times. In Egypt, the sky is pictured as the goddess Nut and stars all over her body. Her hands rest on one side of the earth and her legs on the other. And Shu, the god of air, stretches his hands in the air to hold her up. So this is what I call the dome theory that everybody is speaking on. A lot of flat earthers speak on this with the flat earth and the dome. Okay? Just because our ancestors believe it doesn't necessarily make it true. And then I'm necessarily not saying it's false. Because I really don't care if it's round or flat. That doesn't matter to me. You know, I don't teach on things like that. I let other people teach that. But let's go to the next one. Ancient Babylonian views of space and earth. The Babylonian creation of story of Enuma Elish, Tablet 5, Marduk kills the giant creative goddess Tiamat and uses part of the corpse to create the earth and the other to create the sky. Babylonian representation of the hemispheric earth with the sky, the terrestrial ocean, and the underworld. Modified. Horowitz. Mesopotamian cosmic geography. Okay, so this is I guess it's a representation of how, I guess if you were looking at it more of like a modern eyes. And look, I'm gonna tell you right now, this one right here is closer to what science teaches today, because this shows that it's the different atmospheres that they would call heaven. Now let's go to what science teaches. Modern view of Earth and the atmosphere. For the lowest to the highest to the major, the layers are the troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, exosphere. Okay, you see that? And then let's go back to that. See that? Only thing is they have a theory that the Earth is flat, and they getting it saying it's round. And you say, what does this got to do with the firmament, E? Because we got to understand that we know if the atmosphere have all these layers, we know the firmament is not just really over top of us. We should know that it ain't nothing solid over top of us that's stopping us from going in. When we talk about the Van Allen belt, is not a solid, it's a radiational belt. And you can go through it. But the trouble that they have is when they try to go through it with a spaceship, they fear that it can kill the controls to where they'll be lost in space. So they send drones out there. That's why they try to do stuff like send monkeys out there. But that's what I'm saying. Apollo 13, to my theory, I don't believe that they made it through that Van Allen belt. Because how come they didn't do it again? We all know when these people do one thing and know how to do it, they're going to keep doing it. So unless they had did it and they ain't telling us. So it's either one of them. That's why I say I question everything. The firmament. Now this is why I'm getting to this. So if they understand the Van Allen belt wasn't a firmament, we know the sky is the firmament. So how did it go from firmament being heaven to firmament being a solid thing? Now let's get to this point as far as wordplay. Where is the word firmament coming from? The word firmament comes from the Latin firmus and firm, and this description of the sky as something solid reflects ancient ideas of the way the universe was constructed. The first stargazers imagined the sky as a sphere, and it wasn't until the late 1500s that the idea of the infinite universe was seriously considered. Today, the world firmament is mostly literally used to platonically describe the visual curve of the sky. Now you see how they look in the sky and they see this curve? Because they understood the sky was the firmament. But they understood, but from a lot of the things, they believed that the sky was water separated. Because of what? What made them think this? Not because the sky is blue. Okay, let's see why. Yeah, hold on for a second.
Hebrew.
Let me explain this for a little bit real quick.
Extend.
All right, yeah. Omar never said the earth was flat, so I don't know why you saying the earth ain't flat somehow. But this is just explaining the different forms of how they were trying to figure out why people would think that it was water over top of the earth, and why they were right that it was a split and a solid firm between it. Because if you go to the scriptures, it's going to show it in part of the Noah time when you see the scripture and it start to rain, that the firmament, they believe that the earth opened. That's why people say today, you would hear some people say today, when, example like when Jesus coming back, some people say when the sky crack open. There's no such thing as a sky cracker open. The sky is open. It's wide open. You see what I'm saying? So it's just a form of how people thought at a certain time, that they thought it was because they couldn't explain. There's a reason why. I'm gonna show you. They couldn't explain why a certain reason why they was thinking this whole thing. And he's about to get to it. This surface expanse. Now these two things, when I looked it up, it's actually two opposite things. So what we understand, it was a point in time that Hebrews thought that it was a solid form in the sky that opened up. It's another people that understood that it was the sky is infinite because it goes from our atmosphere into what they call outer space. So this is where I'm getting it from, this definition. All right, now, what was some of them confusing the water for? Now we know they wasn't in no damn atmosphere or space trying to figure out is the universe liquid. No, what they were doing is because a certain thing happened and they didn't understand how this happened. If they understand the water was on Earth, but let's see what they didn't understand. Some interpreters believe that the waters above are referring to a water vapor canopy that was above the earth prior to the flood of Noah. This canopy trapped the sun's rays more effectively than our present atmosphere does, and give a semi-tropical climate to every part of the world. It is more from this canopy that the waters for the flood came. Astronomer Donald D. Young lists the arguments in a favor of water vapor canopy. So they believe that they say some and as far as the interpreters believe, it was the water vapor. Now let's see. Let's see what the biblicals think. Hence, that early Earth did not experience rain. A canopy would not have greatly affected weather patterns, very likely limiting precipitation. During the Great Flood, the windows of the floodgates of heaven were open for 40 days and nights. The present-day atmosphere could not hold enough moisture for such a lengthy deluge. Thus, the sky was likely different in the past in a way that could have included a vapor canopy. So that's again, they thought it was a solid place that opened up, and this is how rain came down. They couldn't understand about the rain. So they believe it was something that was holding water up there to a point when it rained, it releases it. Now let's go to this. Now you see that? Yeah, in modern times, I knew the ocean. Now just imagine starting to see the first time when it rains. We don't understand that today unless you really study science and say, well, how is it raining and waters on the earth and what producing the rain in the sky? This is how we looked at things. So they made a whole story with symbolism, myth, and all that stuff in it because these type of stories were older than them, and they just translated into a version where they can understand it. Why I say
Let me get
demons?
one
Now
more
let's go to
second on this
demons.
one.
Now that was it right there.
That
So
was
let's
finished on that.
understand. Now that's what I was trying to say. I was trying to say the firmament is at a certain point in time it met expanse. But when you start going into like the Greek and stuff, they turns it into like what was firm. And parts of ancient time, we did believe it was a firm because we didn't understand how rain was happening. See, we got to look at it because we go to school, because we taught these things. These things are simple answers now. It was a time when stuff happened and you couldn't answer it. And you would say, well, this must be going on. This must be happening. Because how can water come from the top and water be down here? What is making the water stay up there when it's not time to rain? What is keeping the water from raining? This is simple things that you got to realize when you looking at this. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to bring more reality to it, but we can go to the next one. The next one is the demons. And that we went to spirit is oxygen. How the firmament could have been translated because of the Greeks. The Greeks looked at it as a solid area. The Hebrew, it says an expanse. The other part of the definition of the Hebrew is saying that it's not an expanse. That's actually a solid thing that was up there. Okay? So we'll go to this. Demons. That's our next word. Why I say demons was mostly idols and pagan mythological gods in the OT. I'm going to show how mostly in the OT demons were referred to idols and myth gods with symbolism. Let's go. And these are two words I looked up: seer, demon; shed, probably demon. Share, shatir, shade, shade, probably demon. See, these things say, the one say probably demon, the other say demon. So we could go and see what is demons are, because it specifically don't say demon a spiritual being. So let's go see what demons are when we read the scriptures. Verses that prove demons were mythological and idol gods. Psalms 106:37. They even sacrificed their sons and their daughters to the demon. They sacrificed to demons that were no gods, to gods they had never known, to new gods that had come recently, whom their fathers had never dreaded. Now let's see what they saying these gods is and what they saying these demons are. For all the gods of the peoples who are worshipless idols, All the gods of the peoples are worthless idols, but the Lord made the heavens. So they looked at all nations was worthless because they worship idols. Who are they sacrificing in the town to gods? Because we know gods is what? Idols. So they worship into these demons that were no gods. So it's saying that the demons that they're sacrificing to were actually gods, but false gods because they're nothing but idols. Okay? Now, how would I know this? Let's see. What is demon in Greek? An evil spirit demon. Meaning, did not come from a Hebraic thought, but actually a Greek thought. Okay? All right, let's see how the Greeks looked at demons. Two types of demons in Greek mythology. There were two types of demons in ancient Greece: centaurs and shaggy goats, more mischievous than evil. The style of the pipe-playing Greek pan god was Shakespeare's Puck from A Midsummer Night's Dream. Then there were the other demons, the divine ones, and the law, and the word, and the rules by which one lived their life. The demon Nomos was married to the Damien. Their daughter was Dyke, Justice. The guard demons were referred to as Edumen, Agathod, Amen, Noble, Spirits, Greeks, Ether. Oh, that's the source. My bad. I couldn't really read that part. But in the Greek mythology, they had two forms, and they didn't even think all demons were bad. All right, ancient belief in demons. The ancient Mesopotamians believed that the world was populated by the powerful demons, semi-divine spirits that affected many aspects of life. So you would say, oh, I told you it was a spirit. No, this is not how they looked at it. Not a spiritual being flying around just going inside of people. Let's see what they thought. The demons were identified with natural phenomena, such as winds of thunderstorms, but they can also represent the devastating illness and afflicted the population. Men and women able to understand the cause of disease viewed them as supernatural attacks or punishment from God, and look for ways to cure and counteract them. So they take things again and make them into gods, also demons. So when there was an illness going around killing people, they actually made a god out of that or a demon out of that to teach more. So if I say, oh, this is the god of AIDS, and then I make it wicked, tell you a story of how it's bad, a person can get an understanding from that teaching because it has a moral of the story of it, especially if you put a moral of the story behind it. So if you put a story of how a person was going messing with different men, and then all of a sudden she catch AIDS. But then they would make a story, oh, this woman had a man and they was in love, and the god of AIDS came and struck the woman because he was in love with her, and she didn't want to be with him, and now you see what I'm saying? So they could tell a whole story, put this in it, to where it makes this god look bad. It's the god of a certain thing they want you to look at as bad. Okay, let's go to the next one. A demon in Neo-Assyrian period. Pazuzu, presence on presents amulets shows that his fearful strength could be used to keep away the harmful demons, although a powerful wind demon himself, as signified by his wings. He served as guardian of the home. Another incantation found in his amulets commands the evil demons to keep away from the house of products, the house he protects. Agony of mankind, disease of mankind, suffering of mankind. Do not enter the house. I enter. Do not come near the house. I come near. Do not approach the house. You see that? Symbolism. We gotta understand it. We gotta understand, like I said, symbolism, myth, allegory. We gotta study all this stuff. All right, that's the last part. Sacrifice and worship of demons, mythological and idol gods in ancient Egypt. Ancient times. I bet. List of mythological gods, demons, ancient sacrifice for humans. Okay. Meaning of the name: majestic king, the sun, a counterpart to the Anumelech, the gods on the moon. The people of the Syrian city of Sepharvaim were said to burn their children as sacrifice to God. The handsome devil, his has the face of a mule. The handsome devil has the face of a mule and the plumage of a peacock. He also depicted as having a lion's body and wings and the bearded head of a man. Okay, let's go to the next one. Azareth. 1 Kings 18:19. The goddess 400 prophets ate at Jezebel's table along with the prophets of Belial. 23:47. Joshua had all the articles made for and about Belial, and the idolatrous present were done away with. The Azareth pole was also set on fire, and its ashes spread over the graves on the common people, and the quarters were women and weaving. For the goddess tore down. Okay, so something was going on with their statues. No, this is one. No, this is Belial in the way. Okay, so this is Belial. No, not Belial. This is Arthurus, a pagan god, a mythological god. Okay. So y'all read that part with the verse. The scripture often depicted as a stylistic tree. Strange story. She's connected with the Yahweh as a concert, meaning that before the Jews were monotheistic, their God had a wife. So y'all look that up, check that out. Let's see. Let's go to another one. Meaning of the name: grain, domain, fertility, architectural, war, death and the afterlife, chief god of Palestinians. 1 Samuel 5. The Christian captured the Ark of the Covenant and put it on the temple statue. Hold on. Can't zoom that in. The Philistines captured the Ark of the Covenant and put it in the temple of the Dagon. In the morning, the statue had fallen over, face down in the front of the Ark. The next morning, the same thing had happened, and the statue head and hands had broken off. The worship of Dagon were justifiably freaked out, so they moved the Ark from town to town. but everywhere is resided the people delivered tumors, especially the Philistines returned to the cursed ark of Israel. Okay, there's another god, grain agriculture. Come on, man. You put this stuff together. The statue of Dagon kept falling down in the front of the stolen Ark of the Covenant. So you look at the Ark of the Covenant on top of their head. But they said that their statue kept breaking because of because of the Ark of the Covenant. Okay. This is research I did to bring reality to the Bible, words that by Bible words, that by translation make money to believe in ways that the Israelites didn't. Okay, so peace out. It ain't that long of a jump. I got probably got one more just because this was so short. Peace out. Yeah, so that was the presentation. The first one was the breath of life, and I was showing how through science I can also prove that this stuff was going on, showing that the spirit was above the waters, and how science tell you that's the beginning of oxygen, how the breath of life is the inhaling of oxygen, the firmament of how they why they thought it was a solid form over top because they didn't understand how things like rain and stuff was coming down, and this was their explanation. And I don't make fun of them because it was ancient times. They didn't know. We wouldn't know if we didn't go to school and they didn't tell us. And then the demons is it was a certain time where ancient nations was taking diseases and what we call natural disasters and stuff and making demons out of them because this is how they did. They made forms out of them. You know what I'm saying? Just like the serpent that Moses made. The serpent that Moses made, people don't know that if they end up getting that serpent that Moses made on the staff, end up getting the worship later on, and Hezekiah had to break it. You see what I'm saying? So we did things like this, and so then it got to a point where we was taking demons into us. Anybody that was worshiping these false mythological gods and idol worshippers, they were called demons to it. They was demons. You see what I'm saying? They was wicked. So then in modern times, anything that became wicked became a demon. And see, that's how things work, going passed down to from ancient to modern times. So I'm just trying to show that. Hope y'all enjoy, just a little quick jump. Hope y'all enjoyed the one on the abortion too. The thing that it should be coming up now. I mean, not now. Within I think like 30 minutes to an hour, with King JJ and Elder Yasha. It's gonna be about celestial aliens, or I mean, celestial angels, or celestial.
I'm gonna put up the flyer. So
Okay, yeah. So yeah, y'all stay tuned to that, and thank you, Karima, for fitting me in before this happened.
you're welcome. So this is the flyer.
Yeah, and where's it's gonna be on the lines then too, or just Black Jesus Minister on YouTube?
Black Jesus YouTube and the Lions
Okay,
Den. You already know. And
okay, yeah.
yeah, Black Minister. He's gonna be hosting it.
Okay, hosted by Black Jesus Minister. It's gonna be on Black Jesus Minister YouTube and the Lions Den. Y'all check it up. You know what I'm saying? This is just an opener for y'all, just putting some words together. I hope y'all take these words, man. Like I said, don't ever listen to nobody 100%. Go and study the research. I'm just giving you stuff to study and research and go check it out. You know, you know what I'm saying? So peace out. Shalom.
So